Right, dumb money concepts, lesson number 2. We're looking at zones today. Dumb money concepts, one of the major things I say is there is no stop losses. So let's look at the chart. How we work actually is we have red zones, we have gold zones, and we have hunter zones, okay? And instead of having entries, stop losses, and take profits, it's much more of an intuitive sort of feel that you can add and reduce as the trade goes along. I shouldn't have said intuitive because there is a methodology to this madness. And now when we look at the 4 hour here, we can just have a very brief explanation of how you would enter this short, right? So we determined that the trend is bearish, for example, because the 2 hour here is closing. We have a pretty strong trend to the downside right after that, and then we failed to make a new high here. And that means that we're going to then go to the opposite direction because we did not complete a close. After we see this close here, this large candle close below, we can say, okay, the trend is bearish, right? So what you would want to be doing is setting up entries all within the hunter zone, and you would put one straggler probably in the red zone rather than having the traditional sort of methodology of entering a trade here and putting your stop loss here, right? This is what a traditional trader might do in SMC. Well, this is DMC. This is a 3 hour trade that you would often see, right? Or sorry, maybe 2 hour trade rather. And you would often see something like this, but then you would get stopped out from that wick, right? Off of this wick here, right on the open, okay? So what you would do using dumb money concepts is you would enter those trades here, you would enter on the other side of the hunter zone, and you'd maybe throw another one just in case, okay? Just in case we get up here. So I put through some lines. You might have 3 entries, for example. You could have 2, you could have 1. Depends on what the chart looks like. I decided to have 3 today. After we see this wick, that's good confirmation that we are going to continue to the other side, and then we're going to start drawing our golden zone. Our golden zone is where you're going to be shooting for your profits. I would have taken some off here, and I would have taken some off on the other side. Potentially you could draw levels within here, I'm not sure, but you would be exiting within this zone depending on where the levels are. Because why? Because that's the level that is next in continuation. So after we've seen that 2 hour close here, the next level down is clearly this. So that's where we're going to target. So we're going to enter all within here, and then we're going to target within there. Okay. If we are wrong, because we do need to be able to get out of the trade, we need to see 2 examples. The higher time frame is closing in the other direction and our trend has now changed, or we're seeing closes within our red zone. So every single time you're gonna have a red zone that you don't want it to go, if it closed up here, I would have exited the trade for a loss. Sometimes that loss is larger than 1 R, maybe it's 1.5 R. And that's why we don't really use R too often with DMC. We just use our profits. That's everything for lesson 2, guys.